Um, yo, I don't know if this is. Oh, wait, hold on. I see what I gotta do. I gotta share my screen and then I gotta record. How the fuck do I share my screen? Um, sec. Dude, I don't even. Oh, I see. Entire
How
screen.
did AMD end up treating you?
AMD?
Yeah,
I'm still in that shit, bro. All right.
no kidding.
Can you guys see my screen? Oh, wait, I'm sharing my Zoom. Hold on. It's just mad confusing. Share your screen. All right. I'm like sharing two screen. Like I'm sharing my screen on Zoom and I'm sharing my screen on Discord too on the same screen. So I don't know how this is gonna work, but um, you can see my screen now.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Cool. But yeah, bro, I'm still in let me get rid of all these drawings. So like, are you an AMD Jack? I don't know if you got into that.
No, I've just been watching.
Oh, okay. So the setup was really just it was just like a drop-based rally setup, low key. And it still is. Like it was just one of those four like those four patterns that the market moves in. So like drop, consolidate, go up, terrible arrow. But that's what I thought that's what this is. It's like it dropped, it consolidated, and you could see it like basing out. And so I kind of just like that kind of made a demand. Is that my mic? I don't even know.
So,
Um But yeah, so basically like saw this kind of saw it bouncing off this area and then so I made my zone here. Um and I think I alerted it on the 29th initially. So like right here is when I alerted it, 29th. If I zoom in more on that. So yeah, like right around here. Yeah, I alerted it on Monday. Someplace like here pretty much where I cuz I the reason I got in here as opposed to earlier here was because I basically saw how like if you see it's pretty clear like it was kind of rejecting this area like this area but on Monday it broke above it and I think I got in like here on Monday when it was still above like we were holding above this white line as opposed to like just kind of touching it and rejecting it every time. We weren't really even rejecting, we kind of just like we weren't going above it, but we were kind of just going back down and bouncing right back up, but we weren't able to break it. But then on Monday, um we broke above it and then I got in like right around here and then it kind of consolidated, kind of went down a little bit and then stayed below it the next day. My stop loss for this was like pretty much if we go below, like I had this kind of trend line. If you see this I can draw. So connect this low with this low and like any more touches or just make it more valid. So we bounced once, twice, three, four times off this trend line. So I had this trend line going, and this was like back when it was like obviously this hadn't happened yet. So this was like right around here, right around right here. So I figured so my stop loss for this, like where I would cut, would have been if I entered here, and since I had like I'm pretty sure I have yeah next week expiry. My stop loss was basically like if we break below this line, because that means like if we broke below this line, then I would like there's no really like saying where it could go down to, because Um, if we were to break below it, we could go down and come to like this level here, which is where we bounced off of like right around here. Um, here, or we could go lower and go here. So I just didn't want like that. That's why that would have been the stop loss because you don't know where it can go below and like you don't want to hold it for that. Well, if you're in calls, you don't want to hold that. So that would have been my stop loss. And luckily we didn't get to that. We kind of just consolidated and we bounced right off of it. I bought another contract here, which was like ended up being pretty nice. Um, and then yeah, I think so. I bought like five contracts. I didn't go too heavy. I sold three or two today. I just know I have two left. And so those two, I was looking at 172 as being my like at 172 I'll definitely sell another one and then I'll just hold my last one to see if we go higher. But I'm getting 172 because I think that's where I'm trying to see. I got it from some level. Oh, like this area here. Where we really broke out, consolidated for a little bit, and then we continued higher here before we broke right back down. So we were already going up, and then we got a big push up right at this level. We went up higher. We broke down right from that same level that we got. This is basically this candle and this candle is basically the same, except one's red, but in size and everything, that's the same. And we broke down from it the same way we broke out from it. We retested it, and then we actually broke back up. So what? And then we kind of just been like floating around that line. So there's a lot of touches to that line. So again, the more touches like a level has, it acts more like a magnet. So I was kind of just, and 172 is like a clean number as well. So I was kind of just targeting 172. It'll probably go higher, but it's not. You might have to deal with like the move from here to here was very like smooth and quick. And you can see like compared to this is very choppy. So after consolidation, which is this, you'll get a big move. But then after that big move, you'll then get consolidation. So like this. So similar to this. And then again, you might get a big move. And like that's how like price increase. Like this is one of the four ways that any stock will move. Um, so this is like a rally base rally. So go up quickly, consolidate, and then continue going up. Or it could do like go up quick, consolidate, and then drop back down. And because maybe it's not ready to maybe like market conditions or whatever's going on at that time. Maybe we're just not ready to break above higher. Because if we break above like this 172 level, it opens the gate to like pretty much all-time highs. Or I don't know. Actually, that might be incorrect. But I don't know if that's all-time highs. Um, I don't think that is. I thought we went higher. That's a later. I'll figure it out later. But that it opens gates to like this level pretty much. And so maybe and that's a pretty big move up. And so maybe it's not like ready to do that yet. So it could go to this level and come back down. But what we do know though is since it broke, like if I have these two levels here and these levels are correct, according to this, like since we broke above this area, this is the next level. So I know it's going to this. That's why I held it really. If I had like if this was already at my level, like say if my level was here, I wouldn't have like I would have probably like exited most of my position and just maybe been in one or already have like just been out completely. But I have this level here and I'm like kind of trusting it and testing it to see if we actually get there. So that's why I'm still holding it. But I saw they upgraded like this thing's price target to 210 for this year. Yes, yeah, we were higher. Yeah. 226 is all-time highs. 227. Um, and let me know if anyone, I don't know who's, because there's like a lot of new people who joined, so I don't know. A lot of this might not
Okay.
make sense, but if I clear all my charts again, just to, where's my,
So, Art, quick question.
yeah, bro.
Um, how does price targets affect the stock price? Because if it was upgraded to 10, the all-time high we saw was what, like 230
Yeah, like
or
220.
220? Yeah. Does
That's
that
just
mean like
the price target was that was just like, oh, like they're saying, so this analyst that I follow, like he was basically originally he had planned that by the end of this year AMD would be at 170. So that was his original thing. And that was back like he was saying that when AMD was back around here. He was like, "Oh, like by the end of this year we'll be at 170." Like cuz he was like it's gonna recoup like all like this it's gonna go to this and higher in the future, but it was beat down a good amount earlier this year. And so he was just saying like, "All right, by the end of this year we'll go to 170." But we're already at like 170. And so he upgraded it today and he's like, yo, by the end of this year, I think we'll actually go to like 210. And so that doesn't mean like, oh, like it's not gonna go higher than that. He's just saying like by the time like December end comes around, we'll have at least gotten back to being like up around here, which is close to all-time highs. 211. That's really like this is all-time high. So yeah, I mean he's basically saying by the time we're back, or by the end of this year, we should be back at all-time highs. And more likely than not, if we're back at all-time highs, we're probably gonna break above higher.
okay?
Yeah.
So then, how? I guess this is a subjective question, but how? Like, what percentage right are analysts, like the general analysts for say like J.P. Morgan or
Well, this guy isn't like I would say they're like like those guys, I trust them. Sound like I wouldn't, but this guy wasn't, he's like someone I've just been following for a long time. Like he's not like a professional like bank analyst. This is just like someone like me who's just like way more experienced in this kind of stuff. Um,
okay,
yeah, I just fuck with him, so that's all. So yeah, I mean, it's not like he might like he could totally be wrong. Like it's yeah,
okay. So like those big ones like Bank of America and J.P. Morgan,
yeah, I trust
when
those.
they set um a price limit,
Yeah,
fuck, I forgot my question.
you've been smoking, huh?
Yeah.
I heard that. Um, I honestly don't know much about how
Oh
they
yeah,
go
I
about.
remember what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
So when they set their price limit, do we normally see an effect on the stock price right away? Like say Bank of America upgrades
nah,
it to 210 to 220, or is that just coincidence sometimes?
yeah, like it's not really like correlated in that sense. Because they're talking about long-term price targets. They're not like, oh, like by the end of
So,
this week. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, it doesn't really affect like day to day. Like you're not gonna see the stock shoot. I would. I mean, there's not really correlation in that sense. But
okay,
Corey definitely knows. He worked at Wells Fargo, so I know he definitely has better insight about how like financial institutions go about determining price targets and stuff. But
got it.
yeah, I low-key just saw that this AMD setup, and I wish I saw this earlier because I definitely uh would have bought another position before close today. Fuck, because this is like it's called like a peekaboo setup. So it just like kind of I think it's called that because it kind of just peaks over. It just peaked over that trend line that I just put. So ultimately, I mean, I think this is gonna go to um. It's probably gonna go to this area pretty quick. Damn. Wish I saw that earlier. At this point for me, I would if I see like if AMD has like a red day or something around here, because um it might not just kind of it broke out of this trend, meaning the upside is kind of open to like we're open to go up now, but it's not it might not just go straight up. It might kind of like consolidate a little bit and maybe it comes down a little bit and then goes up. So if it were to do that, I would definitely buy this and buy like a couple weeks out. Um, because yeah, we today we broke out literally today. Shit. We broke out of this like kind of like not really downtrend, but like this trend that it was in, and so the next level here is up here. So yeah. All right. Enough AMD. Amazon has been is a similar setup to AMD in the sense that I was looking for a drop-based rally. So if I clear all my charts again here. So if I go back to AMD real quick, um, AMD, this was the drop-based rally that I was looking for, and it already kind of played out, and then I'm basically at this point I'm just looking for continuation up, but like if you were to go to a larger time frame, it'll be more clear. So like this drop, this consolidation, and now we're starting this rally. So that's where AMD's at, and that's where I want Amazon to do the same thing, where it dropped, we're consolidating, and I'm looking for that rally. So drop, consolidate, and I want this. So that's why I've kept trying. I got into calls. I alerted calls like I think like last week or something, and those got like dusted just because of this, like this price action. And again, I think it's like as an options trader, you don't want to trade this. This is like this is what I literally tried. I was trading last week, and the contracts just lost all their value. Um, it's better to trade faster and more aggressive moves like this, where like we're looking at the 4 hour time frame, so each candle is 4 hours. So like if you just compare this move that happened, it went from 228 to 222, so $6 move in 4 hours, as opposed to like this whole like range, like 218 to 222, $4 move over a span of like day, almost over like 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, maybe not 2 weeks, but like 7 or 8 days right here. Like, let me just count. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, $4 range. 4 hours, $6 range. You like trading moves like this, you'll print money. Trading moves like this, you're just gonna lose money. And so I was trying to time an entry because I saw clearly like um we're definitely bouncing off this area here. And if I go to a smaller time frame, it'll be more clear too. Like come down, bounce. So this was technically like a double bottom. Um, and so I think I alerted it like, I forget where. I don't know if it was here or what, but um, it would come up a little bit and then it would just get shot right back down. So the contracts just wouldn't move. But now again, since yesterday I got in again. I think it was it yesterday or Monday, but I think it was yesterday. We got in again after I saw this strength come in. Um, and then now it's doing the same thing where I feel like it's slowly curling up. Like it's kind of doing like kind of curling up. Like this dip is a little bit higher than this dip, which is a little bit higher than this dip. So, and it held today. We had a pretty strong close. So I'm hoping that there's clearly like the same way there's a support zone here, there's a resistance zone like here because we're clearly not able to get above it here. So that's acting as resistance. But I think if we're able to maintain it, I think if the strength allows us to stay here, this should be able to pop up pretty quickly. So that's what I'm hoping for. It does the same kind of uh like the same drop, consolidate, and then go up that thing. And again, this is like this is one of the stocks that hasn't hit its all-time highs yet. And so I'm kind of expecting it to once it pops, I feel like it should go to all-time highs. So another bullish setup. Um, oh, I can go over the Dell trade. So I was looking at the Dell ta daily time frame, so large time frame, and I saw this kind of. I drew a trend, something like this. Was it like this? Or no, I think it was like this actually. It's more like this. And what I saw is like, okay, we went up, we broke out of it here back in July, and then we came down to test it here. Basically test this trend line again. And then we bounced up and we've kind of continued up. And so fast forward to kind of a little, I think last week, I had this trend line and like another smaller kind of trend line. I forget exactly where I alerted though. Let me go back. Let me go to the 4 hour. Oh yeah, I remember what I saw. So I basically saw this, it's called a cup and handle pattern. But it was also like a this is if you this is called a double bottom where stock goes down to its price, bounces up, goes down to that same price, bounces up. So that's a quick way to mark a quick like demand zone or like a support, basically an area where the price can see a bounce. So you can draw that as support and then you can either bring it out so it can come into play in the future if it ever does, or you can bring it back to further validate it by the number of touches it has. So like if I bring it out, I also see that oh like it broke above this level here and then it retested it and bounced off and then it basically double bottomed here too. Touched it, bounced off, touched it, bounced off. So we got a double bottom there, double bottom here. So this is clearly a level, like a zone that there's interactions. Um, if you bring it back, you'll see that that same zone was acting as resistance. So here it's acting as support where the price is above it, comes down to it and bounces up. But before the price broke above it, it was acting as resistance where the price went up to it, tried to break above it, couldn't, came back down, tried breaking above it again, came back down. This is the same thing as like, let me draw it or just point it out. So we got a double bottom here, but we have the same thing but opposite. Or maybe you could even do like you could say it's like a triple, like tried to come up and test it here, come up and test the same level here, come up and test the same level here. So again, multiple touches in the zone across just across the area. And you'll see like the further out you bring it, the further it gets validated. Like if I bring this out even further, it's like boom. It's not a coincidence that the stock came up to here and then just consolidated and then dropped back down. And then two more things to just point out again is um A, the retest. There's always after like a stock breaks down from a zone, it should retest it before continue. Like if it's a true move down, it'll come back up, retest it, and then continue lower. It does that for zones and like levels and trend lines. Like here, the stock broke out of this trend line. If it's a true move up, then it should retest. It should come back down, retest it, and then go up. And so that's why this is like a great entry point for calls. And I prefer and like I would prefer getting into a call here over like here. Because if I get into a call here, I know it's gonna go up and come back down at some point because it needs to retest that level that it broke out from. But if I get into a call here, I already know that it broke down. So I know at this point there's no if it moves up, it's gonna be a true move up. And so like here, this was a little bit more choppy. Like it went up and came down, went up and came down. But then if you were patient, it did ultimately just kind of pop up. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like a fundamental thing. Like if a stock breaks down or breaks up, it's gonna go back down to retest it or go up to retest it and then continue in that direction. Um, and then there was what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. So same thing. So there we have like there's a drop-based rally setup that AMD and Amazon that I'm looking for. And then there's a similar thing, it's the opposite, where it goes up, consolidates, and then comes down. So that's what this is. Goes up, consolidates, comes back down. So again, this is two of the four ways that any stock will like you'll see move. And then the other two is this, where it goes up, consolidates, goes up, or it goes down, chops out a little bit, goes down. So it's just everything moves within a combination of all these. So like you might see this lead into maybe like this, and then you might see another one of that. But that's how like different we get to different prices. I need to get rid of this shit. Um, but to like show examples of that, I guess. Let me see. Well, this is one. You have to be able to just see it. So it's like large drop, and then I would kind of consider this area, like this area, consolidation, rally up. So you can do your little, or you can get rid of that and you can look at this, up, consolidation, drop, that kind of thing. If you want to see it in a larger way, it's like another one would be drop, this whole thing is consolidation, and then drop. So if you're able to recognize these patterns, then you can at the end of the day, then you know which direction the stock is headed in. It's just a matter of timing your entry. Because if you can see that this thing is forming let me get rid of this again. If you can see that this thing is forming, like maybe on the daily time frame, it might be better to identify. Oh, I totally just lost where I was. Um, I guess we'll just. Oh, I totally lost where I was. Fuck. Let me go back. So like here, if you can see that this is basically playing out to be this type of move, it's just a matter of so you know it's going down. It's just a matter of okay, do I enter inputs here? Do I enter inputs here, thinking that it's gonna go down there? That's all it is. It's just a time and entry game. Um, but that gets applied like throughout different time frames and different like any stock. I don't know if anyone has questions. I've kind of just been yapping. Uh, I'm trying to think of. Oh, I think I already went over AVGO.
Okay, Apple next.
Yeah, yeah, but um, this just real quick is similar setup to what was the one that? Oh, Dell or no, AMD. AMD had that peekaboo setup on the. I guess it's the similar type of setup here. So AMD had this trend line, and we broke above it here, and then AVGO similar setup too. Trend line broke above it here. We sold up. We actually opened up pretty strong, but that got shut down. But we also held like above this area, so I do think this is still valid to go higher. And I think this is the ultimate price target for it to go within the next couple of days. Um, so I got next week called on that for that reason. And then yeah, let me go to Apple. So again, that's what I'm seeing. One of the four ways, or even in a larger scale, this. leading into this. But in terms of actually getting in, Nate's already in. I know I'm in too. Um, but I think the idea was basically that it's the same like same fundamental stuff. Like I saw it kind of curling up here. So that's why I liked it too, and that's why I got in. Once I saw it curling up, that's when I like to get in. Um, and so if I go to a smaller time frame, so there's definitely a demand zone here. So we bounced off of that, and it's just been struggling to break above this level. I don't know if is this all-time high? Yeah, like we're basically at all-time high. So it makes sense that we're kind of slowing down. We had a big move up. So it makes sense we're chopping out. But I think to me, if you notice again, it's one of those things where time is a big factor. So if you look at the last time we were at this area, we touched it and then we dropped back down. It was quick. Quick move, like that's something that you would have been a great like both sides here. Great option trading opportunities. Um, and then so now here it went up to it, but now it's spent days consolidating. It hasn't dropped like that. So what that tells you is, okay, it's not like there's strength here. There's people who want this to go higher because unlike last time, the last time they came up there, people just sold it. Everyone who either also like not just options, but people who held shares on this, a lot of people probably sold some shares here, took some profit on it. So the price dropped. But now we're back up here, and now there's strength. People want this to go higher. And that's being reflected by these candles here where you can see, okay, like it spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days at that level, and not only at that level, but slowly inching higher. Whereas here, it went to that level. Next day was like broke a little bit above it. Next day, drop, and then from there just continued to drop. So there's definitely strength here, which is why I just bought a contract and just I'm basically just riding that strength. Um, like it's at all-time high, so to me, there's no really saying like, oh, like what's the next level up? It's just riding the strength and seeing where it goes at that point. And then obviously like that's why like I don't really like I'm not very comfortable with playing these like I wouldn't get into the Apple trade now personally. I know there's like it's a totally valid thing to trade. You play the momentum, you play the move up. But me personally, I wouldn't be looking to get into it now just because I don't see where I don't have any reference to go like okay like where can it go to next um like I don't know where I'd put like a line because there's nothing for me to like base it out of, but what I would rather do is like say I've missed this move or whatever, I missed the breakout. What I would do is again I wait for that one fundamental thing. I know if it goes up it's gonna come down, so I wait for that come down because once it comes down and maybe it's consolidating, at least now I have this level here, but now I also have that level where it went up to. So it's like now I have a range that I can look into play. And that's how I'll just like that's how I would go about because every like now like there's a lot of things that are going to all-time highs or breaking past all-time highs. So this is pretty much gonna be like how I go about it. Like I would rather prefer to let it go up, come down so that it sets that level for me, and then I can play like calls from this level to this level or play if it gets up to this level, maybe it needs to like come down a little. Maybe it needs to just like chill for a little bit. It's gone so up for so long. Maybe it needs to come down all the way here. So it's like, okay, now I have two levels that I can play, and that's how you can kind of go about trading it. That's how I would go about it. What the fuck? I don't know if that was what you were looking for though, Jack.
Yeah, no, great, great.
Word. Get bank one time for. Ooh. So I had this kind of trend here, popped up, broke down, retested today. So what that means is, okay, if this is meant to go up, if this breakout is a true breakout, and this is meant to go up, then it retested it, then this level where it's at should be a good spot to get into and try a move up to look for a move up. So I'll keep this on watch for tomorrow because this would be a good spot for it to get into and let me go, what are we looking at for price targets? Okay, so I have this 55. The fuck is this? So that's all-time highs on bank. Like that's where this level I have is coming from. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I would look to potentially get into calls here. My only one, like my concern is that like the money seems to be in tech right now and chips. So maybe this kind of just consolidates for a little bit. Like maybe this just does this until, like AMD and like those, because those setups are very bullish right now, like the chips. So maybe those continue higher for a little bit, and then like when AMD hits like it's like next resistance here, maybe that's when we'll see bank start picking up and go higher. That's just what I've noticed is like with different sectors, money will rotate in and out because everything can't just go up at the same time. So if one thing is going up, no matter what, something somewhere else is going down or isn't really moving at all. And so it's just something to be cautious of. But setup wise, bank could be a really good spot to get into calls and play a move to all-time highs. So I'll definitely keep that on watch. I'm sure Ian's probably looking at this already. This in the cord. I'll tag this motherfucker. But yeah, um, that's honestly probably all I had for today, unless people have questions and stuff. Stop sharing this thing. And the